My humble salutations to my Guru, and I welcome all of you. My prayers to Goddess Saraswati. Bhavati yadanubbhavat edamukopi vagmi jadamatirapi jantuhu jayate pragnamaulihi. सकल वचन चेतो देवता भारती सा मम वचसे निदत्तां सन्निधिं मानसे च देवं नारायणं नत्वा सर्वदोष विवर्जितं परिपूर्णं गुरुंश्चान् गीतार्थं वक्ष्यामि लेशतः. So this session also we will break into two parts. After 35 or 37 minutes I will cut down, and again we will reconnect it, because in Zoom, as we know, it's only 40 minutes time, and we have already taken away 5 to 6 minutes out of this one. Last session we were discussing about 15th chapter, and we were left with the 3 last verses. So we'll wind up those 3 verses, and then we'll go to today's chapter, that is on 12th chapter. We had seen in last session that there are 2 categories of living beings. One is which get eroded, and other which do not get eroded. Eroded, we all are eroded, and the ones which are not eroded, they include the skies, or they include the alphabets or varnamalas which cannot be destroyed. So uttama purushastvanyah paramatmeti udavritah yo lokatrayamavisya vivartya vyaya ishvaraha. Lord Sri Krishna says there are 2 categories of beings. One is erodable, other is non-erodable. And there is one person, Uttama Purusha, is there. That Uttama Purusha is Lord Sri Krishna. That is what he says here. That is Uttama Purushastu Anyaha. Uttama means supreme. Purusha means the one, supreme Lord. He is Anya. He is different. Something is different. He is supreme. So he is Anya, and the entire world calls him as Purushottama. That is why this chapter is titled as Purushottama Yoga. And yo lokam trayamavishya vivartya vaishvaraha. The meaning of this is that he pervades the entire universe, and then he also bears the entire universe. That is why it is Purushottama Yoga. And then in 15th chapter 18th verse he says that Yasmat Aksharati Tom Aksharadapi Chottamaha Atosmi Loke Vedecha Pratita Purushottamaha. That is, Lord says that I am supreme to the Akshara, I am supreme to the erodable as well as the non-erodable, and that is why people or the world knows me as Purushottama. Then further he says, Yo mameva sammudo janati purushottamam sa sarvavid bhavati mam sarvabhavena bharata. That means the enlightened ones, yo mameva asammudaha, muda means the dull-witted, asammudaha means the who are intelligent or who are not dull-witted, who know me that I am the Purushottama, I am the bearer of this world, I am the one who penetrates into the world, I am present both inside and this outside of this world. So that is why I am called as Purushottama, and the one who knows this Purushottama is worshipping me by all means, or he is the enlightened person. That is what he wants to convey. Then finally he says, Iti guhyatamam shastram idamuktam maya nagaha etad buddha buddhiman sat krutak krutasya bharata. The meaning of this is that iti guhyatamam, guhya, that as we write top secret, top secret, highly confidential, as we classify various documents. So Lord Sri Krishna says it is guhyatamam. Guhya means a secret. Guhyatara means still top secret. Guhyatama means superlative degree. That is, it is highly confidential, and it's a highly secret. This knowledge is a highly confidential one, and he says Shastram idam uktam maya nagaha. That is what I have revealed so far about a topsy-turvy tree and what are its characters, how it has spread from the top to the bottom, what are its branches, and how it bears the fruits, and what we are supposed to do to cut this tree so that we attain that Supreme Lord. So that is what has been explained. And if a person knows about this one, it means he has understood the God by all means. So that is why it is called as Guhyatamam. So now in the entire Bhagavad Gita, 18 chapters, this chapter, only this chapter, Lord writes that it is Guhyatamam. That is, it's a top secret. Amongst this entire Bhagavad Gita, 15th chapter is considered as a top secret. It's a Purushottama Yoga. That is the reason we started with 15th chapter. Because the top secret of what this Bhagavad Gita is all about, if we discuss or if we deliberate upon that one, so that is what we can attain that Supreme Lord. That is why we have discussed this one. And finally, the Lord concludes. So, Om Tatsaditi Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishnarjuna Samvade Purushottama Yogo Nama Panchadashodhyaya. Sri Krishna Pranamastu. This is what is 15th chapter that we had left in our earlier session. Now today we are starting as per our promise that we are starting on Bhakti Yoga. In Sanskrit we commonly use the word promise, not like any English or Kannada promise. The promise means I will speak on that one. It is only simple meaning, as simple as that. Vachanam. So Vachanam in the sense I am going to speak on this one. That's what is not like Kannada swearing. It's not that swearing. It is that I will speak on this one. So now we'll go ahead with this chapter 12, that is Bhakti Yoga, because once we come to know about the supremacy of that Supreme Lord, next is we should know how we have to devote ourselves to that principle or those values. So that is what is the Bhakti Yoga. And this is also one of the small chapters of this Bhagavad Gita with only 20 verses, and one of the very important chapters of Bhagavad Gita, because there first we have understood what is Bhagavad Gita and what is that Purushottama or Supreme Lord, who is that Supreme Lord. And then when once we know that Supreme Lord is really supreme, he is the one who controls everything, then next what we can do, we have to surrender to him. So that is what is Bhakti Yoga. So Bhakti Yoga is one of the important concepts. If people cannot find the time in reciting the Bhagavad Gita, even if they recite this 12th chapter, that is very much enough, or that will attract a lot of virtues. Or even 15th chapter, if somebody can recite only 20 verses, it will hardly require 7 to 9 minutes. So that will attain a lot of glory. So that is what is about Bhakti Yoga. So before beginning this Bhakti Yoga, I would like to tell one glory of this 12th chapter as described in Padma Purana. There was a king by name Brahadratha. So this king was once, he was ruling and he was a valiant king, and he had vowed to perform a Rajasuya Yajna. In those days, the powerful kings used to perform this Rajasuya Yajna, wherein they used to send one horse to different parts of the country. Wherever it goes, it indicates that it is his sovereignty. Whoever opposes, he has to fight, and again he has to prove his supremacy. That is what that Brahadratha was performing. So when he was performing this supreme yajna, one day what happened, while performing, he unfortunately died. When he died, still the yajna was going on, it was not complete. So what all the saints who were performing those rituals, what they did is, they stored the body of that king in a tub, in suitable oils, and then kept it secret, and still continued with their Ashwamedha Yaga or their yajnas. So this continued, and one day, final day of that Ashwamedha Yaga, they realized that the horse was missing. On this side, the king died, and on the other side, the horse that they had sent was missing. So the king of that Brahadratha was very much worried, and horse was missing. He has lost his father. So without knowing much of the next path, what to do. What he did is he came to the temple of Mahalakshmi at Kolhapura, which is in Maharashtra. So he came there and he started praying Goddess Lakshmi to guide him further, and he revealed himself and he said what are his grievances. Then Goddess Lakshmi said that you need not have to worry so much, that if you see that main door or main arch of this temple, you can find a saint. You go and explain your problem to that saint, and he will solve it. Then after taking due boon from that goddess Lakshmi, Mahalakshmi, this son of the king came to that saint and surrendered. The saint immediately recognized and said that, oh yes, I know you, and the goddess Lakshmi has sent you for the help. Then he revealed that what had happened, that he was performing an Ashwamedha Yaga, that his father, and unfortunately he died, and the horse was also missing. Then the saint immediately chanted few mantras, and very next moment Lord Indra appeared with the horse, and he gave this horse to that son of Brahadratha. Then it was really a surprise that this Indra had stolen that horse, and he returned just by chanting few verses by this saint. Then this son of this Brahadratha was so much ecstatic that he said to that saint that now one part you have solved, you have given me the horse back. Now second part is my father is dead, please make him alive. Then saint said, I will come to the site where we are performing this yajna, and then I will see. And both came to the site, and again this saint performed certain verses, and the king suddenly got up, the dead king got up, and both of them they surrendered to the saint, and they were so curious that just an saint, when goddess directed to just a saint who was sitting at the door of arch of this Mahalakshmi's temple, just by chanting few, god like Indra came running with his horse and surrendered, and then the dead king also was revived, and he became alive. So this surprised, and then they asked, what is the secret behind this your achievement? Are you a supreme god? Then he said, no, I am not a supreme god. I am just a sage or an ordinary saint who sits at the doors of this Mahalakshmi and chant something. Then all were curious, what is that you are chanting that makes you so much powerful? Then the saint said, I only chant this 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita or Bhakti Yoga that has made me so much powerful. So with that power, I can draw that Indra down, and as well as I can make this dead person alive. It is only because of that 12th chapter. So that is Bhakti Yoga. So if we devote ourselves to this Bhakti Yoga, anything is possible, because we have limited energies, and our knowledge is also limited, whereas the knowledge of this God, if we surrender to him, he can do anything for us. This is what is the glory of this 12th chapter, that is Bhakti Yoga. So before we begin this Bhakti Yoga, let us see how many types of bhaktis are there. We should know what are the varieties of the bhaktis that are there, then we can start into this chapter. Because we have seen the glory of Bhakti Yoga, why we should become bhaktas or devotees of the Lord, because of he is the supreme power. Now we have to see what is that bhakti, or how many types of bhaktis are there, then we can study this Bhakti Yoga. It is said there are 9 types of bhaktis, or 9 types of devotions are there. So what are those 9 types of devotions? They are called as Navavida Bhaktis. That means any person can adopt any of these Navavida Bhaktis, any one of them, 2 of them, 3 of them, all the 9 of them, they can adopt that suits their mind, and then they can attain the supreme realm of that Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Those 9 varieties of this Navavida Bhakti, or 9 types of devotion, include, first is Shravana. Shravana stands for listening. That is what we have to listen. We have to listen to the glories of the Lord. Second is Kirtana, or lecturing. Third is Namasparana or chanting. Fourth is Padasevana or the service to the Lord. Fifth is Archana or worshipping the Lord. Sixth is Vandana or praying the Lord. Seventh is Dasya or serving the Lord. And eighth is Sakhya or it is a fondliness or a friendship towards the Lord. Then ninth is Atmanivedana or addressing the Lord directly in loneliness, or when we are alone we can address like a friend or like a guide or like a supreme Lord. So that is what is the Navavida Bhakti or also called as Navada Bhakti. So we'll see just for a one minute or so what are these, how to perform this Navavida Bhaktis. First is Shravana or listening. So what is that? We have to listen. That is, we can listen to the glories of the Supreme Lord. It may be in the form of Vedas, it may be in the form of Puranas, or it may be in the form of any other celebrations or any of the activities of the Supreme Lord. If we listen to them, so that is Mahabharata or Bhagavata or any of the Supreme, it may be Lord Shiva, Lord Hanumanta, whatever, Lord Ganesha, whatever the Lord that we are fond of, we have to listen to them, listen to the sages. So this is what is Shravana Bhakti. It can be listening to the elders, it can be listening to the superiors, it can be listening to the saints, it can be listening to the enlightened persons. It all falls under this Shravana. That is listening. Listening is one of the devotions to the God. If we listen constantly to the Lord, because everybody may not be in a position to recite the Vedas or may not be in a position to get so much time, but listening we all can do so comfortably. We can listen at any time. So that is what is Shravana devotion. Second is Kirtana devotion. Kirtana means telling what we know. In Bhagavad Gita it is said that those who Madbhaktaha, that is my devotees, they keep on revealing about my forms and about my glories. That is Madgata, Madbhaktaha, Madgata Prana, Bodhayanta Parasparam, Katayantascha Mam Nityam Tushyanti Cha Ramanti Cha. That is my devotees. They keep on chanting or they keep on telling and listening to my glories. As we have heard in our Puranas about four Sanaka brothers, Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanat Kumara, they are four. Out of every time one becomes a speaker, three becomes listeners. Next round, that other person becomes a speaker, other three becomes listeners. So that is what is this Kirtana Seva. Many people may feel that Kirtana Seva means there is a platform or we need some arrangements or something so that we can do Kirtana. It's not like that. Kirtana means, suppose if two friends are there, even if two friends are there, they are chatting or they are sitting together or they have gone for a walk. It so happens many a times that we discuss about a movie or we discuss about some star or we discuss about politics or we involve in some other our trivial matters or some other affairs that are concerned or something else, a futile type of discussion may take place. Instead of that, if we can discuss something about the glories of the Lord, that itself is a Kirtana. It's not necessary that we should have some audience and a mic set or some platform and some special time. It can be at any moment. It may be with brothers, it may be with sisters, it may be with mother, it may be with anybody, your friends or daughters or wife, whatever it is there. If you can discuss at least a few words. Now somebody may feel that I do not know all those Purana or something like that. But definitely we know what is happening around. Maybe some temple is celebrating a Shivaratri. If you simply say, discuss about how Shivaratri was performed or how it will be performed or what is the glory of that one, so that itself is also a Kirtana Seva. Or some Hanuman Jayanti is celebrated, if people can discuss how that Kar Seva was held or how that Rathotsava was held, how gloriously it was worshipped, so that itself is also a Kirtana. It is not necessary that we compulsorily know something about this mythology or this ontology and then only we speak about or we are eligible to speak. It's not necessary. It can be anything. It may be a simple temple celebration, a car festival, a Shivratri festival, or a Hanuman Jayanti, or Ram Navami, or whatever the festivals that we come across. Even discussion about them also is like also a Kirtana Seva. Then third is Namasmarana. It is very simple. That is, some people may not like all other Shravanas or this one. So at that time, if you feel that you want to be lonely, you can chant the names of the Lords, because as we know, it is Kali Yuga. Simple chanting of the names of whatever your tutelary god is there. It may be any goddess, it may be any god, it may be Shiva, Ganesha, Hanuman, Kartikeya, Murugan, whatever the god that you feel, yes, he's my idol, or he is my supreme god for me. We can chant. It may be Rama, Krishna, Narsimha, whatever you feel. You can very much chant. That is Namasmarana. This is also a form of a devotion. All these devotions, 9 ways of devotion, are enough to attain that salvation or attain the realms of the Lord Sri Krishna. That is the meaning of it. That is, anything that we do, it attracts the word of the Lord, and we get that bliss and that pleasure and that knowledge. So that is Namasmarana. Then fourth one is Pada Sevana. Pada Sevana, in simple ordinary terms, let us see. Pada Sevana means we have some temple, or we can do a worship that Lord. We may bathe him in milk, we may bathe him in curds or a honey, or we may put some flowers on his feet. That is a simple meaning of a Pada Sevana. The actual other meaning of this is one simple. People, if they feel that yes, this is Pada, this suits my temperament, that is very fine. Absolutely no problem. But what is actually Pada Sevana? How we can extend this logic? That is, if we can serve any of the saints, any of the enlightened persons, or if we can serve any of these orphanages, we can serve any of the dying patients, or if we can serve in our profession anybody, any needy, that is also a Pada Sevana. It's not necessary that I have a statue of a Lord and then I do the service to his feet. Absolutely not necessary. We can do the service to the feet in many forms. We may provide, as in Corona, we say that RSS people are providing 75,000 food packages. This is also a Pada Sevana. They are also serving the same feet. So like that, it's only a door that I am opening. Now you can put this logic wherever you want, because you are all enlightened people, highly educated people who are listening to this. So you can extend this logic to anything that you come across. It may be a person suffering from hunger, it may be a person suffering with some other disease, or it may be a person suffering with some other grief, or it may be an orphanage, or a school, or a Vruddashrama, or anything. It may be any service. Again, it in turn reaches to the Supreme Lord only. That is also a Pada Sevana. Because everybody may not be in a position to visit an orphanage or help them or help in some other way. But even this worship at the statue, those can worship. Aged persons are there, they cannot go out, so they can sit in the house and worship the statue. Beginning with that one, you can extend the logic wherever you want. So that is what is Pada Sevana. Then next, fifth is Archana. Archana is a very simple worshipping of the Lord. Worshipping of the Lord means we can worship the feet of the Lord by various means, which we all are quite familiar. You see in temple, with flowers we worship, or with so many other milk and so many other things. Now, this worship can be extended to any of the logics that we had discussed so far. So that is also worship. God accepts all our worships from them also, through them also. So this is also Archana is one of the important devotions that is enough to attract the final salvation. Then Vandana. Vandana means praying the Lord. So that is, if we fold our hands in front of a statue, that is Vandana in simplest forms. But suppose if you can pray to our country, if you can pray to our rivers, if we can pray to the plants and trees around, if you can pray for the well-being of the animals, if you can pray to some stray animals or injured animals or your superiors or anybody that is in the right path or right spirit or for the right dutifulness, that is also a Vandana. So starting from that Vandana, now the logic can be extended to wherever you feel like extending logically. Only thing is that we have to keep in mind that it is for the virtuous people. that is genuine people or the deserving people. It can be to anybody. It's not limited to any geographical location. It may be from any part of the world. If suppose some X country has met with a particular earthquake, we can definitely send our help to them. That is also a padasevana, or that is also a vandana, that is also a service. So this logic, all the enlightened audience like you can very well extend wherever you feel that it is the right thing. Only thing is they should be genuine. We cannot help a traitor. We cannot give a gun to a terrorist and say that, see, I am serving some. It's not in the right spirit. It should be rightly spirited. That is the right person, genuine person who are really in need. If we can help, that is the service, not to antisocial elements, or not to these traitors, or not to the goons, or not to these such people who are bent upon destroying our any of these values. So that is what is another important service, that is vandana. Next is dasya. Dasya is seventh one. Dasya means again something, it is superimposition of padasevana only, wherein we do the service. So that is, we serve that Supreme Lord. That is one simple service. Now, how to extend this logic from that service to Supreme Lord in the form of a statue to something else? It may be, suppose, if we can repair a temple that is in our place or our village which is deflated, so that is also a service to the God. It need not be directly service to that statue, but if you repair that temple, a temple compound, or temple gate, that is also a service. If you can whitewash that particular temple, that is also a service. No, this doesn't mean that I should go with the bricks and lift the bricks and cement and then build a compound. Absolutely not necessary. If we can supervise that also, that is also service, because everybody may not be in a position to help financially, that I am going to serve this one with this. It can be in the form of money, it can be in the form of physical service, or it can be in any other form. That is also a service only. Not necessary that we have to lift actually the bricks or the mortar, or it may be cleaning the temple. Now, so you may feel that all this is revolving around only temple activity only. Suppose if we can extend this logic even beyond the temple, let us say we are repairing our school in our village, we are repairing an old age home, we are repairing some orphanage, or we are repairing a beggar house, or anything. It can be anything. The logic can be extended for this dasya. It is not necessary that service to the temple or the statue itself is a service. It may be tying the flowers on some suitable Shivratri on the arch of the main temple. That is also a service to the directly God only. It's not necessary like a priest that we enter a temple, then I offer at the feet, then only it is becomes a bhakti or it becomes a dasya. Not necessary. It may be tying some flowers or some leaves on the main arch or somewhere else also, or erecting some arches somewhere else also in connection with that one. That is also a dasya. That also attracts the salvation. Next is sakhya. Sakhya means it is friendliness with the God. This is also one of the important, as we have seen the examples of Sudama, who considered him as a friend. Or when Lord Krishna was very young in Vrindavana, all these cowherds were his friends. They are simply cowherds. They all together used to play. They all together used to steal some butter or make some mischievous things and then enjoy themselves. So they all considered Lord Krishna as their friend, and they all attained the salvation. So like that, but we should have that caliber to consider Lord Krishna as a friend, and that is also one of the important attainments that we can have. So that is Sakhya, fondliness with the God or friendship with the God. Arjuna considered Lord Sri Krishna as his friend only, but later on when he revealed his supreme presence, then he understood that and suddenly he became his devotee or Shishya. So that is also one of the important aspects of this Navamida Bhakti. And finally, we have Atma Nivedana. Atma Nivedana means revealing our grievances or ourselves, or surrendering ourselves to that Supreme Lord is Atma Nivedana. That is, we are opening up our heart. We are opening up our mind in the presence of the Lord. Many people may not feel like telling to others, but you have that freedom of telling because he's the best friend, that is Lord Krishna or any Lord that we have, who is ready to listen to our grievances or our prayers and answer them. Other worldly persons may not be in a position to answer our prayers, but Supreme Lord has definite capacity to answer our prayers. So that is Atma Nivedana. If you cannot solve, if we cannot solve a problem from others, then final our shelter or our surrender or our tutelage is only to the Supreme God, wherein who is capable of solving all our grievances. So that is what is an important Navavidha Bhakti. That is, we have seen what is the glory of Bhagavad Gita. We have seen what is the 12th chapter, that is why it is called as Bhakti Yoga, and how by chanting few verses of this Bhakti Yoga, and how people can attain, or how that Brahadrata attained his supreme glory. And when devotion, we are speaking of devotion, that is Bhakti Yoga is nothing but chapter of devotion. What are those types of the devotion? That is, there are 9 types of devotion that we have seen. That is Shravana, Kirtana, Namasmarana, Padasevana, Archana, Vandana, Dasya, Sakya, Atma Nivedana. So these are the 9 important devotions that can elevate a person or attain his salvation. And now, as I said, we will cut down because we have only 3 to 4 minutes, and again we will reconnect to begin with the first verse of this Bhakti Yoga. That is Arjuna Uvacha Evam Satata Yuktaye Bhaktastvam Paryupasate E Chapaksharam Avvaktam Tesham Ke Yoga Vittamaha. So we will see the meaning of this one when we reconnect once again.